I was running around my house at the speed of sound, getting everything ready.
Solid. I didn't realize Stardust was in the call.
Oh,
I see what you did there.
Hey, it's your joke.
I already have my best question, too. How was your day, Finn?
It was great.
Oh, this is FNGR, and welcome to Limbo Podcast. Joining us is Ryan Rhino Mills.
Darn diddly dang it.
Yeah, we're all just sucking out loud today. Zachary.
Zachy, really?
Zachary Mario Fanboy.
Hello, everyone.
And this week's King of Limbo, Finn the Pony.
What is up, bronies and Adventure Time fans?
Wow, I didn't screw that last part up. That's fantastic. Wonderful. So let's see here.
At least you didn't screw up the most important parts.
Certainly. Obviously, I have some questions, but if anybody wants to lead out, no?
I got one.
Sure, certainly.
What was behind the decision to make your OC Finn?
Well, here's the thing. My OC isn't exactly supposed to be Finn the human as a pony. Everybody makes that mistake. He actually has a much more complicated backstory, which I was going to reveal if I ever get 1,000 subscribers. And I kind of wanted, to have a character that, I wanted to be. Finn's very adventurous. Finn's very strong. Finn's very courageous and just likes helping people. I like helping people. So if you read my OC's backstory, it'll make a lot more sense. But yeah, it's sort of like, it makes more sense if you understand exactly what the character Finn the Pony is. So
I was going to ask on that same note, what about Adventure Time speaks to you personally, or would you consider you already answered that?
Well, here's what I like about it. Or obviously, I really like the characters. Basically, each one's their own unique, not just creature or design, but also personality. But what really makes Adventure Time work for me is just it's a ton of fun to watch. You need something that you could just turn your brain off, have some fun, and really enjoy it. And sometimes there's also really some deep stories and some interesting morals in some episodes, like Simon and Marcy, What Was Missing, episodes like that. Just really, really well made episodes. So,
which did you get into first, MLP or Adventure Time?
Adventure Time, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Adventure Time was sort of a I saw the ad, that dumb ad with the the human character of Finn just going, "What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?"
That kept me from getting to the show for quite a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I saw that ad and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? It's like, this is going to be another one of those dumb, Cartoon Network shows that just is going to bomb after one season. But no, I figure I have the mindset, give everything a chance. I gave it a chance, freaking loved it. So
when you were seeing one of those kind of episodes, what were you thinking of, like Gumball, Flapjack?
No, I kind of like Flapjack, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too. I'm just go ahead.
I was thinking something stupid, what's a really stupid Cartoon Network show? Problem Solvers. Or yeah, Teen Titans Go. There you go.
Okay.
Which surprisingly lasted more seasons than I expected.
Is it still going?
It's still going.
Yeah.
There's still more of that crap being made.
I guess because it's cheap to make.
I was about to say, it really proves there is a devil.
No, Problem Solvers proves that there's a devil.
Okay.
I got some.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You made a video about the significance of the color green in MLP. What was the mindset behind that video? Why specifically that?
I kind of wanted to have a video. I really wanted to do an Irish drinking analysis for St. Patrick's Day because I thought that would be a really fun idea. I can't sing to save my life, but it was still a lot of fun to make. So I made a significance of green in MLP because I kind of wanted something to fit with the St. Patrick's Day theme that also had some meaning behind it. So that's what I went with. And I realized, it's like, oh, everybody's saying that, everything green is evil. It's like, not exactly. So I kind of went into more depth about that.
Of your videos, do you have a favorite so far, or is it too early for that?
Of what I've made, even though it's probably my least viewed, I think my I Remember You review is probably my favorite, just because that one I had the most fun making, because it's like, a lot of people sort of shove Adventure Time off as just, pointless nonsense, but that episode just really spoke to me, and I thought it was a really great episode. So,
Adversely, what would have been your least favorite?
Well, I think the one I'm going to release soon is my least favorite, because...
You've definitely tempted me, sir. You give me that link later on, and I will attach it to this podcast.
I get it's like I've been writing this script for almost a week, and I just can't get the words out correctly to explain how I feel about it. So
forget that. It's going to go into an annotation. I definitely want to see that now. I know you did a video breaking down, or several videos breaking down your top 10 analysts.
Yes.
I'll throw them at you one at a time here, so I don't overwhelm you here. Assuming these individuals, let's suppose MLP just dried up and it wasn't something that people could pursue anymore, what do you think would fit their respective talents? Those being KP, Dr. Wolf, Josh Scorcher, Tommy Oliver, John Enter, Voice of Reason, Digibro, Anthony C, and Inkros. If I forgot anybody, I can go back to them if I overwhelmed the hell out of you there.
You're saying if MLP just sort of died, like, eventually, what do you think I think they would be doing?
Yeah, I know I've had my own thoughts, and for example, I know, what's his name, Silverquill's tried his hand at movie reviews a little bit. He did Kingsman, for example.
Yeah, he did Jeremy John's style. That was actually hilarious.
And he did a brief review of Battle of Gods, which he would go in depth on later, but he really didn't.
Silverquill, I feel, if he could pretty much review anything and you'll still be a hit, so, you know.
In your what would you like to see them try? Like, when you look at their stuff, what comes to your mind? Like, yeah, this is what I think they're going to be good at, in just your opinion.
Well, some of the guys, some of them will probably just continue what they're doing. Like, obviously, Mr. Enter's still going to do animation reviews. Mm-hmm. Josh will still do video game reviews, stuff like that. But as for people that only do exclusively MLP-based stuff, let's see. Tough thing to say. I'm trying to think of something KP would be able to do, because I know all she's really been doing is MLP related stuff and not much else. So
you were comfortable the way you worded that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, your favorite reviewer.
No, just the way you spat that out, that could be taken incorrectly somehow. I'm just saying.
That is not a joke for the internet to enjoy.
Yeah, okay.
You could have accidentally shot on KP.
It's fine. I'm sure he had good intentions.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ian Rose is still very young and still pursuing her education. But was there any ones that like leapt at you that like you sat there and said, "I'm really hoping this person does X," for example?
I got to think about this.
Because just for example, I used to just assume that they were all going to do movie reviews later on, and I've talked to like a couple, like, well, not necessarily.
I think Ink could actually do some headcanons of other source materials. Like, you know, she's not just an MLP. I've seen her do a lot of like Valve-based art and stuff. Maybe she can like write some kind of, I don't know, Team Fortress 2 or Portal fan fiction, because I know that she said like Shell was one of her favorite video game heroines. I'd like to see maybe she'll write a story about her or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, more likely it's gonna be Zelda related. I want to ask, are you a gamer by any chance?
Abso-freaking-lutely, yes.
Oh, do you have any like favorite franchises or anything?
Let's see. Well, I've got a whole Steam full of games actually open right now. It's right over here. So, well, yeah, the favorite franchises. I think my favorite franchise of all time. This is going to sound really, really dumb, but the WarioWare franchise is my favorite.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
There's just, you know. Whenever any other game is like completely done and there's like nothing else to do, I could just like grab one of those games, just sit down, beat my high score, and just have a good time. And honestly, having fun's really what video games are all about. So
the only one I played was the Wii one, the WarioWare. I think it was
Smooth Moves, right?
Yeah, Smooth Moves. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Is that the one with all the little multiple different mini games in there to play, or?
Yep.
Yeah, the ones that last for about 3 to 5 seconds.
Twisted is probably my favorite, because that one, like, it's still Game Boy, which they already had one for the Game Boy, but if you tilt it back and forth, it makes the games work, which I think that's really cool. So
I had a DIY, but I never actually played it.
That's kind of like, you could still play games, but you can actually make your own games. It's really limited in what they give you, but it's pretty fun.
Now, do you have a least favorite game?
Genre.
Least?
Maybe a genre, maybe, is what he's trying to ask. Is that it, Zach?
Least favorite genre of game or least favorite series?
Least favorite series.
Not one that I particularly hate at all. I guess one that I tried that I just couldn't get into is Legend of Zelda, to be honest.
That's bold.
Looking
at your OC, I was like, I always kept thinking, it looks kind of like a Zelda sword. I never would have guessed that.
Not a big fan. I think I played a few. I played Majora's Mask, I played Twilight Princess. I even played the original ones on NES. And that didn't really stick with me that much.
I'm imagining Finn's going to come at me screaming, I lost 100 subs from being on your crappy show.
Please don't tell me Majora's Mask was your first Zelda.
It was.
Oh my god.
Well, there's a lot of people who are enthusiasts of Majora Math.
I know, but it shouldn't be your first Zelda game since that first half of the game, first 30 minutes.
Okay, I got some.
I don't hate it. I just wasn't blown away by it. So
yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm bringing up the big one. Who is a popular reviewer in the community that you just don't get why they're popular?
I don't think you're going to get an answer out of him. I've seen Finn's top 10. He's fairly diverse on that, actually.
I even had a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I can't single anyone out in that regard. I really don't think there's anyone like, you know, when you review, it's basically your own style, it's your own thing. You know, you give your own opinion. I can't really single anyone out as like, you know, why the hell is this person popular? It's like, okay, people like his style or his or her style. It's like, that's cool.
Well, there's a couple of safe names, but I'm not going to give you any, so we'll move on.
I would just say there's well, not in the community, but any popular reviewers in general, they don't really care for.
Ooh, nice save, Zach.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any, no, to be honest.
No, we aren't going to pressure him. It was a good save, though, Zach.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah. Who is your favorite writer on the show? If you haven't said it already.
What? That's not a tough question, man. That's basic.
I don't know.
Least
I'm
favorite? No, okay.
No. It's hard for me to say. I kind of want to say Megan McCarthy because she wrote all the season premieres and finales, which I think are fantastic. But then I'm trying to think of all my favorite episodes. It's like who wrote which. It's like Amy Keeney Rogers wrote Applebuck season. That's my favorite episode. But it's like I didn't really like too many of her episodes after that. So I guess I'll say Megan McCarthy because she has the most ones I like. So I'll go with that one.
Oh no, like Finn. There's no going to be a question or a grading after this. Like if you get something wrong later, you'd be like, I was in the moment. I just didn't realize it. They were pressuring me. They're jerks. They tripped me up.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a least favorite?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. No, we could skip right over that.
I'm sorry. I'm not very interesting.
No, that's perfectly all right. What's something you would teach your peers after running into enough people in the analysis community?
What would I personally teach? Well, the main thing I want to teach them, if they actually want to review themselves, which I think anybody doing reviewing should do, is just to have fun with it. Just have a good time. If you don't enjoy what you're doing and you're just doing it for money or you're just doing it for fame, don't do it because you're just going to be wasting your time. You're just going to be, pressuring yourself. You're just going to be stressing out over absolutely nothing. So if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then don't even bother.
I was gonna say, who do you think is best pony? In your
The age-old question.
Yeah.
Applejack.
Oh, okay.
The background pony?
Come on, Zach. I was so disappointed in my answer, only to be outdone by Zachary there, where he completely no-sold it.
I know. She's just the most relatable to me. Very family-oriented, very hardworking. I work almost every single freaking day, so...
Oh, yeah, there's a wide range of people who say Applejack.
What about you guys?
Oh, well, okay. My favorite pony is Twilight, best pony.
Awesome.
Yep.
Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie, yep. Same here, Pinkie
Yeah.
Pie.
She's missing.
Yeah.
Oh, Finn's going on the offensive now.
I have a custom-made plush of Pinkie Pie.
What do you feel distinguishes you from the pack? For example, I do X better, so to speak.
Better. I don't know.
Puff your chest. Be bold, man.
Stroke your ego.
No one's gonna come out and call you out on it. Well, maybe Caps Locks might. He got all huffy when I said Tyendega Rookie of the Year, and he's like, "What was that? How dare you?"
I guess I like story. I guess I'd make story better. Stories, because every single one of my reviews, I want to send Finn on a little misadventure, and I have like 6 other stories lined up for future reviews. So I guess.
No, I thought your humor in your last video for Sweet Castle was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I remember at the time I wasn't in the mood to watch your video, but by the time I got done, I was like, yeah, I'm glad. I can legitimately say that I did sit there and watch it, and I did have a good time, and I'm gonna put that in the description.
Oh, thanks.
What field of study or education are you pursuing?
I want to be a doctor, so I'm a major biology right now in college, and so far I'm doing really well in just about every class except chemistry, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if chemistry is really that essential to that, so that may or may not be solid.
It's not. I only have to take 2 years of it, as opposed to the full 4 years of biology courses I'm going to be taking.
God,
hopefully it'll be about
constructing those compounds and molecules is the most irritating thing you'll ever do in college.
I was about to say 2 years of chemistry. Dear God, I think I remember cheating my way through in high school.
At least you'll be a better doctor than Wolf.
Oh, now, Zachary, Zachary, you behave yourself. This man is a good friend of Dr. Wolf. And we do not argue with the guests. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any books that or authors or books that you're favorited to, basically?
Well, I've obviously read a lot of books because I've been in school a long time. If I do have to say I'll say what my favorite book is right now. It's Animal Farm. Have any of you ever read that?
I'm familiar enough with it.
It's both a really funny, a really interesting, and a really creative satire about, man's, how a utopian society will never be able to exist because basically one group will always want more. In this case, the pigs are stealing all of the good things that the animals are supposed to share. They're stealing the milk, they're stealing the apples, they're stealing stuff like that. So, and by the end, basically the pigs and the men, there's like no difference between them. They're pretty much the same exact thing. And the animals are back at the bottom again when in the story, they're supposed to be all equal. All the animals are supposed to be equal. But in the end, just couldn't happen because one group will always want more.
Okay, I got some.
Go ahead.
I noticed you have a lot of like animated-based editing in your videos. How long does it usually take to edit your reviews?
Forever. Scripting takes the longest, obviously, because you gotta have jokes, you gotta have references, you gotta have everything in there. You gotta have facts and opinions. But the editing always takes me forever. I usually try to get it done in 2 or 3 days tops when I'm off, or at least a week tops when I have school. And I have to make sure that the animations play out in the right order. I have to make sure the poses are in the right order. So stuff goes flying, stuff goes exploding, expanding. It's a ton of work. So
what's the most you've lost to whatever your movie maker is, Sony Vegas or otherwise? Like the most amount of progress to one of your projects?
Completely. My Castlevania review, which I was originally supposed to release a long time ago, got completely erased when I was like 3/4 of the way done with it.
Oh, can you think of like real time how much that would have been?
I don't know. Like, let's see, animating. Well, the script was still there, so animating, I'd say maybe like 2 weeks of work.
Oh,
yeah.
How did you find the will to come back?
I don't know. I worked on something else, and then I figured it's like you got the script, just finish the freaking review and get it over with.
Oh
so.
My God, that is death.
It is.
Okay. So going back to my best pony question, let's flip it around. Who's your least favorite pony?
I guess Rarity.
Oh, I was about to say 2 bits says he doesn't answer.
I will be completely honest. Out of the main 6, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut
yes,
up.
the compatriot.
I've only ever gotten myself in trouble with this one. I've learned my lesson. You seem to be a Mr. Ender fan. Is based on the Animated Atrocities series, I kind of got this idea here. Is there an animation out there you just plain flat up didn't exist?
That I wish did not exist.
Yes.
Like an episode or a whole entire series?
Oh, hey, let's do one of each then.
Whole series, like we said, I really wish Teen Titans Go didn't exist.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to make something original that's awful, but it's another thing to take something really good and just take something that was already good and make it awful. So
I was just about to say that's a super safe answer, and I've never met anyone who liked Teen Titans Go. Okay,
Pull up with the episode thing.
Yeah, episode-wise.
What episode do I not like? Well, I'm probably gonna say he said one of his least favorite animations of all, at least favorite episodes of any series of all time. I think it was something with Spun. I think it was either a Pal for Gary or One Course Meal.
Oh no, I meant like yours. What's your?
Well, that's what I meant. That would probably be one of those because it's I was still a SpongeBob fan even for season 4 and even through season 5, and it's when I saw that episode, I'm like, what the hell? So
yeah, those were season 7.
Probably
episodes.
probably either one of those would be what I wish just would be gone because it's the other episodes are passable if you're a fan of the show, but it's those two are just they'll pretty much steer a lot of fans away. I guarantee it. So
do you have any interesting stories on meeting anyone in the fandom?
No, actually, every single person I've met has been over Skype call or otherwise.
That totally counts if you have any interesting stories about that.
Well, to be honest, I think the first time that I ever met Dr. Wolf is probably my most interesting story because that was the first time I ever met someone that I really look up, someone in the fandom that I really looked up to and really was engaged. I was sweating through my shirt the first time I was going to Skype talk with him. So and it turned out he was an incredibly swell guy. He was really nice. He saw my stuff and he said it was good. He gave me some pointers and yeah, that was the first time I ever met someone really important in the fandom and he was a really great guy. So
it's ironic you should say that. What are your thoughts on YouTube's policies?
Oh,
you mean copyright policies?
Well, any of them, quite frankly.
You didn't like how they have one.
I've only had one guest who sat there and went to the wall for YouTube.
You mean like how YouTube has 144p now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Corpulently uses it.
They just change everything at the last. It's just as soon as you're getting into something, they have to change the rules and just switch everything around. And I've never really been hit by the copyright policies as hard as a lot of people, but I did used to have an old channel and they did take a lot of my videos down or at least put ads up in them.
Oh, third party? That's really nothing though.
Yeah.
Those are just misinconveniences for the most part. How do you differ from your online persona?
Well, not much really. I mean, if you looked at all the adventures that Finn has gone on, he seems to have really a common theme with him, which is, number one, he likes to help people. Two, he has some focusing problems, and three, he likes to have fun, and that's kind of what I am. I do have some focusing problems. I do like to help a lot of people, and I'm all about fun. So I guess the only difference is that he's a horse and I'm not. So.
I have a question. I'm sure this is gonna be a no, but do you read any of the MLP comics?
I read one. That was it. I read Shining Armor and Cadence's backstory as to how they met and how they got, how they went to the dance and everything. I think that was the only one I've read so far. I want to read more, but I can't really afford them. So,
not a fan.
There's always
What is your favorite and least favorite episodes of the show?
Favorite Applebuck season. I said that already. That's definitely it. And least favorite. Let's see. There's not many that I don't like. Putting your hoof down is bad. I don't think it's really like I think it's a really bad episode, but not really because of it's bad itself, but because of like it could have been a lot better. Like if they switched a few things around, it actually could have been a really good episode. So let's see what else. Let's see. All's Well That Ends Well wasn't that great. Rainbow Falls wasn't that great.
Good safe one to hate on.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't great.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing. My only redeemable thing about Rainbow Falls is all the negativity was so fun.
Can't fault you for that, I guess.
Oh god, so many people had so much fun tearing apart Rainbow Falls.
Oh my gosh, especially Voice of Reason.
Everybody.
I was like one of his. Was that like his worst episode of the whole series, or like his second worst? Yeah.
Season 4, he was hyper positive to the point where I literally thought he got nabbed by like a body snatcher. I was like, this isn't Voice of Reason. Where the hell is Voice of Reason? He hasn't complained. Oh, here we are.
There's our boy.
There's our boy I grew up with.
Where you been, dude?
And then also reach about some playing to watch over me.
I wasn't.
I don't hate that one.
No, I understand that.
I like that one a lot. Actually, it's funny. Actually, I like some Pony to Watch Over Me, but I'm not a huge fan. Please don't kill me. I'm not a huge fan of Pinkie Pride.
They are going to shun you.
That sound bite's going into a 5-second clip. No, I'm kidding.
What was the soundbite?
He's not a big fan of Pinkie Pride.
Yeah.
I am a little shocked. Well, I'll be completely honest. Like I waffled on that. Like going in, I was like, oh, they're just gonna screw this up. I watched it and I was like, it's Weird Al. How could it have been anything other than amazing?
Yeah.
Oh god,
I love Weird Al. He's easily my favorite solo musical performer out of anyone. So
this is another favorite question of mine. Has there ever been any misunderstandings that you've had in the past online that you would handle differently now that your experiences have made you grow?
Experiences. I haven't really had that many bad experiences with people. I used to have an online friend from the Netherlands named Elko, and he was a nice guy. He was really cool. He was actually the first subscriber I ever had on my old channel. But his main issue was that he seemed to have this really huge jealous streak. Like I was having like hundreds and hundreds of subscribers. He had like 3, and he was like, stop, dude, take down your videos. It's like they're giving me nightmares or something like that. And I tried to handle it calmly, and I tried to say, it's like, dude, they're just videos, just don't watch them. And it's like, oh no, they appear in my subscription feed. It's like they're taunting me. It's like, dude, you got to calm down. And it's like I got to the point where I didn't leave. I didn't like stop talking to him, but I'm like, I got really angry at him, and I really don't want that something like that to happen again. So if something major comes up where I get really angry, or something happens with another person, I want to handle it calmly. I want to just like take a breath, and just discuss it normally and discuss it calmly. So
if you had 4 more hours in your day, what would you do with it?
You mean 4 more hours, like 28 hours in the day?
Yes.
Well, if I had more hours, I would both have more time to work on videos and more time to just spend time with the family, because I really like spend time with the family.
Another question. Have you played any of the MLP fan games?
Some, yeah. You mean like the MLP fan flash games? Yes, I've actually played quite a few of those.
I was going to ask Legends of Equestria, or is that the big MMO looking one?
Yep, I played that twice so far. Excuse me, I played that twice so far.
Would one of them happen to be Luna Game?
Oh no, I haven't played Luna Game. Is that any good?
Depends. I only liked it because it had certain aspects that seemed interesting, and it liked to screw around with with you a bit, but overall it's a kind of
What's the you're probably gonna pass on this one. What's the most trouble you've ever been in?
Not really that much. I've pretty much been clean my whole entire life.
Well, there's lots of ways to handle that one. Like I've behind on your classes, times you've gotten in trouble with your parents, girlfriends screamed. Yeah, I was like, oh, if you don't feel comfortable, I've had a lot of people pass, but the fun guests take that and go, well, where do I start?
I'd do that if I had more stories to tell, but I think aside from like a few things involved in school, there really haven't been that many things that have been, that I've gotten in trouble for. So.
The person I felt that managed to dodge the most about that, I think, was Robin, when he's like, well, I've got some third party matches on YouTube. I was like, yep, it counts. You gave me an answer. That'll do. We'll move right along here. What are your thoughts on EQD?
Equestria Daily?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's not really like it's not really my source of new MLP stuff, but I do go to it a lot of times, and I do find some really interesting things. So I think it's a good website overall.
Certainly.
I thought it was called the Trixie Variety Hour.
Do you have a problem with Trixie, Zachary?
No. You know how Sophisto is. You know how Sophisto is with his Trixie.
Hey, I'm big on Trixie too. You leave her alone.
That reminds me of a blog I did once where it was just called Darn It Sophisto.
Yeah. Well, that's usually when people ask me who best pony is, and I ask Twilight. The only reason I don't say Trixie is I just thought that goes understood.
Perfect. I got a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Project Thundercloud?
Oh God.
Oh, you mean the one that Minty Root did? She's been. He actually. It's a he. I keep forgetting.
There's so many good clips from this that are sound biteable.
Well, I'm glad to give you some meme-worthy material there.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay, so no, I've actually never seen it. Though I know who made it, and I know he's been talking about it, but no, I've never seen it. I know FNGR said that he completely ruined Derpy for him or something. No,
it was. I remember when I had Jerry on, we were talking about it, and he was making fun of like, oh look, they made the background ponies like the foreground, and they turned Celestia into a tyrant, and like this is stupid right there. And I was like, no, Jerry, you miss it. I'm open to all those ideas, I really am, and this ruined all those. It literally, like, I imagine Pasta standing in the background, like laughing, haha, I told you these ideas were crap. So yeah, that's why I absolutely
I knew it and you didn't listen to me.
Yes, he literally took everything I ever hoped would be good and just dashed my dreams. That's why I bitch about it. So let's see here. What are your thoughts, conversely, since you said EQD, your thoughts on horse news, or more frankly, the rise and fall of draw ponies, if you know anything about that?
I don't actually. I'm not very familiar with that.
Oh yeah, draw ponies is this one artist that used to be super huge, especially on EQD, and he got nabbed for basically tracing. And do you know who helped bust him was actually Minty Root. He was in Horse News, and the guy like put out like a second sample of his work and said, no, look, here's my work that isn't traced, and like literally Minty ran into the room and like sat there and said, this is traced here, and broke it down, like completely blocking the guy. Nope, he's clearly lying. This is completely traced. And it's funny because every time
Minty Root some respect.
Oh yeah, like in Horse News, every artist that was there is like, wait, people didn't know he traced. I remember asking Crown Prince about that. She's like, oh yeah, it's totally obvious. I mean, he totally
and he tried and he sold that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, since you weren't familiar with that at all, let's see. Have you ever attended any conventions?
I was planning to, yeah, but just between you and me, I'm still a closet brony. My parents don't know about this.
Me too, and I'm still going to BronyCon. You know what?
Right.
I'm going to a comic book convention. That's my advice to you. You're going to ASIN. You're going to an anime convention.
I'm one of the people who's not a closet brony.
Oh yeah. Oh, look. When you come home with a giant plushie, I want it. I want it.
That's taking my plushie.
Door prize. That's what happened. Are you keeping up with any of the new analysis people? And if so, who's your rookie of the year?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Let's see. I've been keeping up with most of them, like, Caps Lock and Tyan Dogga, for example. I think I'm going to go with Tyan.
There we go.
Yeah. He's one of my faves.
Oh, there you go.
Swell guy, great videos, ton of really great energy. I put a lot of energy in my videos too, so we can both relate to that. And just a really great guy. So
don't feel bad. That'll just drive Caps to be better.
I'd like to talk to Tyan.
Yeah, we'll have him on as a co-host again. Again, the last time I had him on, it was for Vector, and I just lost the voice, so I feel really bad about asking him back. Yeah,
Only stupid answers.
Exactly. What's the most expensive thing you've ever lost or broken?
Probably one of my old laptops. That was I made a really dumb decision. I actually have Mac. I've always have a Mac.
$700 probably.
Something like that. It was it wasn't even physical damage, like I dropped it or something. It was because I wanted to play one game which was Windows only on my Mac computer, and I installed Windows software, and pretty much everything just
brick.
So
was it?
Yep.
Were you able to salvage it at all or no?
I had a backup drive, so that's all set.
Oh.
But the computer itself was completely dead. So.
Wasn't really the wisest of ideas.
I didn't even realize that would happen. Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah. Once you go Mac, you never go back, and I've learned that now. So
let's see. Do you have any guilty pleasures as a brony?
A few, yeah. Let's see. What's a good example? Would liking Snowdrop and Double Rainboom count as guilty pleasures?
I guess.
Those would probably be it. And there are a few episodes of the show too. Like I know Power Ponies isn't really technically a good episode, but I really like that.
You're a big comic book fan, right?
Huge comic book fan.
Then don't apologize for that. No. There's two kinds of people out there. There's people who are comic book fans that like Power Ponies, and there's everybody else. You don't have to apologize if you like comic books.
This is so true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally understand why Voice of Reason and Robin like freaking Power Ponies, as do I. I grew up with enough comic books to bury corpulent in.
I liked it either way, and I didn't read comics.
It was a lot of fun. I kind of related to how like Spike was telling them all of their powers, and it's like you could do that, you're this, you could do this. It's like if I was in a comic book world, that would be me amongst all my friends. It's like I would know what each person does and what each power would be. It's like you're this, you're supposed to do this, so I could totally relate to that.
Yeah, I went in just assuming I was like, this is gonna look like Adam West's Batman. It's gonna be that goofy and silly, and I'm just gonna take it for what it is. And people were just assuming, it's supposed to be magical, and we're supposed to be getting this, and this. I was like, you guys just set the bar too high.
I got an interesting question. I got an interesting question.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you usually do to get your basically to inspire you, get your creative juices flowing?
Well, it sounds kind of weird, but usually I get my best ideas when I'm doing really dumb, mundane things, like when I'm in work. I work as a lifeguard and hospital assistant, so usually when I'm doing something dumb, like refilling the scrub machines at the hospital, or just sitting in the chair lifeguarding, I come up with, hey, that'd be a good idea for a review, or that'd be a good idea for something, for an adventure for Finn to go on.
That's not entirely dumb at all. There's so many times where I'm not near my computer and not anywhere chance to write anything down. I get my best ideas as well. That's perfectly natural.
Well,
you have to keep repeating
that's nowhere near as bad as mine. I get my best ideas by sitting down in silence, doing literally nothing.
Well, then we've been disrupting you, Mills. No wonder you haven't put out a video in forever. You just heard that, everyone. Rhino just threw all his friends into the bus. I'm not productive because my friends are talking to me. You'll fit in, Mills. You'll fit in fine in the Rift. By the way, you now qualify.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
I'm all out of ammo. So unless everyone has anything else.
Yeah, I've also run out of ammo.
Zach, are you satisfied?
Yes, I'm perfectly satisfied.
Go ahead.
Have you, since you have seen some of the fan animations, have you seen a Turnabout Storm?
I've heard of it. I've heard good things about that. Yes, but I haven't been able to sit through the whole entire thing. I gotta just set aside some time to just watch the whole entire thing, marathon the whole thing.
Well, it's like 7 hours long.
Oh, I
know.
Look, I remember being I work security, and I'm just bored out of my mind looking through my phone, and I found that, and that got me through a 12-hour shift.
Wow.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, it got me. Like I was like the first 4 were out, and I was like, okay, that's good. Please, there's more. Huh? That's a weird place to end the series. And literally like a week later, the 5th one came out, and I was like, oh solid. Life is good.
It's a really good.
Why are you blowing over your data plan? Leave me alone.
It's a really good animation.
Oh,
yeah.
It's definitely enjoyable. I wasn't even like a Phoenix Wright fan, but I was like, I can't stop watching this. This is beautiful.
It's funny. The fan animations were actually kind of one of the main things that got me watching the show. So I got to check that out soon.
Oh, did you have like the Anthony C response? Where's Vinyl Scratch? How come she's not talking?
Pretty much.
Did you?
Whoop Time was like one of the first pony related things I ever watched.
Oh yeah, like the knee jerk reaction. Where's the pink fluffy thing? Which episode does she show up in? Oh God.
I had the backwards reaction, like, what the heck is this pink thing?
Oh, it was, like I said, it was really great talking to you, Finn.
Thank you.
If you ever want to come back as a co-host, I'd love to have you.
Yeah, sure. Shoot me a message. I'd be happy to join.
No problem.